Hey, Summit Daily viewers, Antonio Olivero, sports and outdoors editor with the Summit Daily News, coming at you today way up high at Boreas Pass here on Boreas Pass Road. We're going to be climbing today up to Bald Mountain, known as Baldy affectionately to many of the locals. We're going to kind of scale up past, I believe this is Section House here, one of the summit huts in John's John. Part of the Summit Huts Association. We're going to climb up in between there to Black Powder Pass, in between Bald Mountain and I believe that's Boreas Mountain. After ditching our bike, gotta lift up in a Jeep via a friend and kind of stashing our bike here, and then gonna hike the mountain and bike back down to our low clearance vehicle, maybe a mile down Boreas Pass Road. So should be an awesome hike. Before we get to the Talus ascension, the climb through the rocks, there is some kind of nice high alpine vegetation trail here as we go up toward Baldy. Thankfully got some rain yesterday, as you can see on these soggy planks. Great for us here in Summit County as we've been battling, well, in the greater Colorado high country area, as we've been battling wildfires and just dry weather. So just under 40 minutes into our hike, we reach Black Powder Pass here, just under 12,200 feet, right around there. As I hike up to my left, we're going to continue up this single track trail here as we ascend the Bald Mountain ridgeline. At right, you can see the above tree line terrain that leads up to Boreas Mountain. Where we're standing right now basically is the Continental Divide, and then the divide is going to continue pretty much along this single track trail up to Baldy, along maybe the first or second false summit, and then there's actually kind of a shoulder ridge line that juts over to Mount Guyot. Just a couple minutes hiking up from Black Powder Pass as we reach this little junction with a couple single track trails at this little hill here. I'm going to bear left, continue on this single track. As you can see, the 10-mile range in the clouds ahead of us, and that's where we're headed, up toward the summit, the several summits of Bald Mountain. As you see another hiker reach that cairn from that fence post, I didn't spot a trail or a cairn, so retracing my steps previously with my topo app from this hike, pretty much hiked straight across this alpine vegetation from that fence post, and now accessing more or less the middle of the ridgeline here. Gonna follow my steps and hike through the alpine vegetation. From, if my memory serves me well, we should reach some cairns or rock piles soon. That should help us find the way up. Once we reach that ridge up there, we should easily see cairns. A few moments later, as I reach this cairn, still really hiking through the rocky alpine vegetation, I can start to spot the cairns or rock piles that must have hiked up the last time I went up Bald Mountain. So spotted this one, now I can see another one, and even another one up ahead. So I'm gonna hike along to these rock piles. A little over an hour into our hike, about 1,200 feet of elevation gain in, a little over 2 miles. Walking and hiking through that alpine vegetation, like I said, gave way to those cairns. Now the cairns have given way to this trail here that we are going to continue up to reach the ridgeline of Bald Mountain, the Bald Mountain Ridge, for the several false summits, and then finally the true summit. We've gained the ridgeline. Since I last left you, it's pretty easy to follow the trail through a lot of it, just kind of black and gray rocks. through the talus. Otherwise, pretty easy to follow. Now that we've gotten to the ridgeline, just gonna look out for cairns, rock piles, and basically stay on this ridgeline as we continue up to the several different summits you see on Bald Mountain. All right, so we've gained about 1,800 feet, about 2.5 miles in, around 13,300 feet, just under one of the false summits of Baldy. As you see these clouds and a little bit of drizzle coming on in high up above tree lines. So just wanted to give you guys a glimpse of Summit County heaven up here as it rolls in. Keep an eye out and an ear out for worsening rain as we get up a little higher. May not go to the true summit if the weather's looking a little bit too inclement, but going to continue up. It doesn't seem that bad at the moment as we continue to find this trail through the talus. Gained 1,900 feet, about 2.6 miles in. We are at one of the false summits of Baldy, as you can see here with this little rock pile. We're gonna have to call it at about 13,420 feet. The weather's just coming in a little bit too much. Not, torrential downpour, but I'm seeing, I think, snowflakes coming down, and we're near maybe a few hundred feet under the first false summit of Baldy. As I pan over to the climb I'm looking up at here. Sorry guys. Yeah, that gives you an idea there. It's just full-on clouds. I just passed a couple hikers headed down, and I just think it's best to turn around here. About a couple hundred feet, like I said, down from the false summit, which there's another saddle after you reach that summit, which is where the Continental Divide kind of makes a hard right from here, going toward Guyot and gaining on Guyot toward the east. After that, there's another saddle, and then you ultimately reach the true summit, which isn't that much higher. I'm not exactly sure how much. The hikers I just passed said 5 feet higher than this false summit. So we're pretty high up here on the Bald Mountain Ridge, but it's just too socked in as it's blowing in from the direction of Breckenridge, the 10-mile mosquito range. So I'm gonna retrace my steps. As you should be able to see as we retrace our steps on the Bald Mountain Ridgeline in these clouds, we have some precipitation coming down, and it looks like little tiny snowflakes. So give you an idea of, even here in late August in the Rocky Mountains, it can quickly turn to winter-like weather real fast. As you can see, the undercast clouds below us, the clouds enveloping us, and some of the little tiny snowflakes and raindrops coming down. Oof, these clouds are moving fast. It's beautiful to be up in the heavens. There's, down below, Boreas Pass, where we are headed. As we look ahead toward Boreas, we've regained the trail after a little bit of adventure. If and when you hike Baldy or Bald Mountain, just be super careful, especially if the clouds roll in like they did for me after I last left you guys. I was heading down the mountain, wasn't paying too close of attention to my map, and all of a sudden you find yourself several hundred yards away from your original route. So not fun, kind of traversing across back to, I believe this is kind of the southeast of the mountain to refine the trail. A lot of dirt and loose scree and rock, that that I had to kind of traverse through, but we've refound the trail from here. We should be good for the home stretch despite the clouds, but just be super careful when hiking any above tree line terrain here, and especially a mountain like Baldy where you know, you could easily kind of lose your bearings when there's clouds all around you. So just to recap this hike, the first 3/4 miles was pretty tame from Boreas Pass up to Black Powder Pass. At least the tree line on Black Powder Pass, you're only going to gain about 200 feet. And then from there, you're going to, you know, moderately gain elevation as you come up to Black Powder Pass, which we will descend to here in a minute. And then from there, you know, you're continually climbing to where we left you off. We had gained just under 2,000 feet, I believe, maybe right around 2,000, to be a couple hundred feet short of the sub-summit, false summit, which is only a few feet lower than the true summit on Bald Mountain. But because of the undulating ridgeline, expect closer to, you know, 2,500, maybe even more feet of elevation gain if you're going to go all the way to the true summit. Pan back around one last time for you guys as we head back toward Black Powder Pass and then Boreas Pass and the Continental Divide, so you can get a glimpse of Bald Mountain as the weather rolls in. There's Boreas Pass Road, our destination down below.